Thanks for hanging out with us on Hail State Productions. I'm Bob Carskadden, and this is the 20th head coach of Mississippi State men's basketball, Ben Howland. Welcome to Stark Vegas. You having fun yet?
I'm having a great time. It's been great meeting everybody here, number one. I mean, I've been received so well as my family. We had a great dinner last night with President Keenum and his wife, Rhonda, and it was really a fun evening, and I got a chance to see the facilities. Really impressed with the hump. It looks like it's brand new. They've done a great job keeping that thing spanking looking, and very excited about the new practice facility, the Buddy Mize Center. It's beautiful, very functional. I think it's obviously a great opportunity to practice there and help our players grow.
Well, let's talk about you a little bit. Obviously, you've had a fantastic career, had a few stops, been successful almost everywhere you went. 3 straight Final Fours is probably one of the big parts of your success as you look back on it. But let's talk about the last couple of years. You had that long coaching career, and you had a couple years off working in the media world on the other side of the camera. What's it sort of been like the last couple of years as you're watching, ready to get back into coaching? What's been your way of things?
It's actually been great to take a step back, obviously, for me, and really reevaluate how I want to do things in the future, and also study basketball. When you're in the middle of your season as a coach, I went 32 straight years without a break. To get a break and actually take a step back, I've studied a lot of different programs. You're always, as a coach, trying to pick up new things, trying to learn, trying to improve, trying to grow. That's what we expect our players to do, and that's what I expect myself to do. And so that's been fun. And it's also just been a re-energizing time for me. I got a chance to do a lot of games in person this year, and I really enjoyed calling games because you're seeing the preparation for the opponent for each team. You're watching them practice, getting to know the kids on a personal level. It's really been fun, and it really is encouraging me in terms of how excited I am to get back in this, and I'm so happy to be here.
You talk about growing and changing, learning. I heard you talk earlier today. You said your last year at UCLA switched to more of an Uptempo style of offense, style of basketball. It sounds like that's something you're planning to kind of keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought, in fact, I had a great conversation with some of the coaches that I coached against in the Pac-12. And Sean Miller, for example, told me that was really difficult in terms of to defend. He thought that was one of the toughest things that they had to contend with my last year at UCLA. And we led the league in scoring, and I think we were 8th in the country in fast break opportunities, the amount of time we spent in transition offense, and it puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Things for me always start the defensive end first, though. I think that in football, basketball, baseball, whatever sport you talk about, defense is a constant, and you control the most through effort and through preparation. You always, want to have that, and defense travels on the road. To be a really good team, you got to be able to win road games as well as your home games. And so we'll start tough man-to-man defense, and then we're going to push it, made or missed, every time we get the ball, and then be smart offensively and execute and be unselfish. I love teams and I love players that are unselfish and share the basketball and play for each other.
You mentioned football. I heard you're a big SEC football fan. I caught a few games with MSU and Dak Prescott over the year, too.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Dak Prescott and the year they had, and I'm really looking forward to meet Coach Mullen and his staff. To be number one in the country for numerous weeks during the season. But, yeah, the SEC is so far ahead of everybody else in athletics and obviously in college football. It's just amazing when you watch one of the other power conferences and then you turn on the SEC, there's a distinct advantage towards the SEC. And just the fan support, just how crazy and wild all these different venues are within the conference, where it is such a huge deal to play college football. So as a college football fan, I loved it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the kind of players you've had. You've sent so many guys to the NBA, but sometimes it's been the under-recruited guys who, you come in, you develop them as players, and they become great professionals. Sometimes you got the 5-star guys who come in and you keep them on that track they've been on. It seems like you've got everybody across the board. What's maybe the ideal type of player for a Ben Howland team?
Well, I love tough, hard-nosed guys that are blue-collars guys in terms of how they approach the game and their work ethic. And you're correct. I've had 3 number 1 player in the country coming out of high school, Kevin Love, Drew Holiday, and Shabazz Muhammad. But I've also had guys that were under-recruited, like Darren Collison, Russell Westbrook, Luke Richard, and Bob Mute, Jordan Adams, most recently, who's from Atlanta, that's now with the Grizzlies. So, there's not one set, type, but you really, what I enjoy guys that are hungry, that are driven, to want to be their very best, and want to be pushed, want to be coached, want to learn.
So we're getting to know you as a basketball coach. Tell us a little bit about you, the person. I know you're here in town with your wife and daughter, got a son back in California as well. And I hear you're a big fly fisherman. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. I don't get to do it much. I get to do it about once a year. Although the last 2 years being out of coaching, I actually spent about 2 weeks each summer, actually 14 days on the river fly fishing. I fished with Coach Knight last year and his son. A lot of time I'm spending time with my former teammates that are still my best friends when I played in college, and that's really a joy for me. But my family, my wife Kim, we've been married 34 years. We have 2 children, Meredith, who's a pediatric oncology nurse at Mattel Children's Hospital at UCLA, and then our son Adam is a lawyer and actually just received a new job where he's going to be the district attorney or assistant district attorney in Santa Barbara. And he and his wife have a little boy, our first grandson, little Ben. And I'm very proud that I have a namesake, and that's the joy of our lives, is our family.
Well, Coach, it's got to be exciting to become a grandfather. And I know we're excited to watch, see what happens the next few months, few years. Going to be a fun process, I think. Appreciate you hanging out with us.
Well, thanks, Bob. I appreciate being with you.